Alright, and welcome back for our first test match with Kuldotha Boros 2.0. This is going to be a mulligan. Unfortunate, because this hand's actually pretty good for one land if it's plains, but you know. Alright, we can keep this hand. This hand's not terrible, but it's not great. I also would like to say I still love how Magic Online, I'm going to put that on the bottom, is convinced that all my decks need to have the number 2 next to it. And it looks like my opponent just skipped their first turn. What are they on, one line spy or something? That's not gonna show what's going on. But oh well. I mean, if they are on one land spy, it's pretty bad for me. Oh no, I guess they just skipped their first turn by accident. Okay. Plans. Alright, well. I guess I'll just go ahead and play this garrison and then attack for 1. And pass turn. Next turn, I'm probably going to play Core Skyfisher, return the Thraben Inspector, rather than just like play Prophetic Prism or something. The good thing is, you know, most of your lands come into play untapped and stuff like that. So, ooh, I am card draw flooded. All right, let's go ahead and attack first. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know what possessed Magic Online to believe that I need the number 2 next to all my decks, but it is actually pretty frustrating that for some reason Magic Online believed that that was needed. So, alright, just replay Third Inspector and pass turn. Raise the alarm. Okay, so it looks like we're up against some kind of mono-white token strategy, or maybe just white weenie with tokens. Possibly Soul Sisters. Soul Sisters is, for this matchup, for this deck, a interesting matchup because you don't have the Rally the Peasants combo. So it's not as easy to win. This is a matchup where Thraben Inspector does shine, though, which is good for me. Okay, hold on a second. I apologize for the static, if there's any static. The reason why there is because there is a lot of rain right now. If it isn't the rain, I don't know what's causing the static. I might have to just try to fix my mic So we'll figure that out. I'm gonna attack with the Core Skyfisher. I don't think my opponent's gonna have something like Celestial Flare or whatever the hell that is. So I'm gonna play the Prism, and then I'm gonna play Glinthawk and return it, and then play Boros Garrison. I don't want to reveal to my opponent that I'm playing a card like Alchemist Vial. Yeah, I'm still going to play Glinthawk. That's good, though. That we have an artifact I can return. Yes. Play this. And pass turn. So, where this deck loses cards like Kuldotha Rebirth to make a bunch of tokens and stuff, you gain, you know, Palace Sentinels, which in turn is I think a lot better, but I don't know. I could be wrong. A Battle Screech now. Okay. Well, this is becoming a bit more difficult now. Kind of sucks. My opponent skipped their first turn. They're still kicking my behind. Secluded Step, huh? Alright, I'm going to play the plane so I give my opponent less information. Let's go ahead and play Prophetic Prism first. Okay, more lands. That's what I want. Let's go ahead and play a Vial. Ooh, Prismatic Strands. That's going to be pretty good. Okay, well, I think I'm going to attack for 4. I don't think I mind losing my guys. No, I guess I kind of do. I'm at 20. I have Alchemist Vial to stop one of them from attacking if I really want to. And I'm going to get to cycle this secluded step, and I'm going to go Prismatic Strands next turn to try and screw my opponent over. So, alright. Squadron Hawk. Doing God's work since, was it 2011? 2011? Yeah, 2011. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not sorry for what I just did. Okay. I think before Thraben Inspector was released, this deck played Squadron Hawk, which, it was pretty... I'm sorry that there's a bunch of hawking. My windows are open because it's actually kind of cold outside. And it feels nice. Alright, so we are up against just a complete, like, white weenie token strategy. So we're going to need Electrickery to do some overtime work. Alright, so there is the Rally of the Peasants card. So game one, this matchup is pretty miserable. Because you can't really do much, but Prismatic Strands helps out a lot with that. Right now, what I need is to draw a bunch of burn spells and to put my opponent in a bad spot. Kind of like that card. Alright, let's go ahead and play Prophetic Prism. Another Plains. I can't stop drawing Plains, apparently. Alright, well, we're going to play Ancient Den, and we're just going to pass the turn. I'm going to hold up Prismatic Strands, and my hope now is to back my opponent into a corner where they're possibly going to attack with, like, everything. And I get to get them with Prismatic Strands while also being able to just burn them out. It's realistic that I can just burn my opponent out, but it's going to take a bit of time. And I had to play the untap land there because Prismatic Strands does cost 3 mana. The good thing is if my opponent doesn't go in, which I don't think they will, I think they're just setting up a huge attack, I can go... I can crack both of my clues because I have Metalcraft already. The good thing here is that all of my burn spells cost 1 mana, so I don't actually need to, like, Galvanic Blast my opponent at the end of turn to curve, which is good. Okay, another Galvanic Blast. That's good. Let's go ahead and crack this. That is a lot of Boros Garrisons, my friend. Alright, so let's go ahead and play Thraben Inspector. Make another clue. And I guess I could play Boros Garrison, but I think for now, I kind of want to just play Great Furnace. No, I guess I could play Boros Garrison. I'm going to have to discard a card, but I don't mind discarding this Plains, as pretty as it looks. So, just pass the turn. Discard the land. Say go. See what my opponent does. Okay, there's a rally. I like that. My opponent's playing it beforehand. They want to basically tell me, hey, by the way, you're dead. Not going to slow roll you. Appreciate that, opponent. Appreciate it. And they are attacking with Urabati. So we're going to go ahead and block. And block. And we're going to block a couple of these guys because they look cooler. And then we're going to play Prismatic Strands and not kill anything because we're just preventing white. Oh, and my opponent's also using Guardian's Pledge. Alright. So we're going to get my opponent here pretty good. And we're going to go main phase Prismatic Strands. We're going to name white. And then I'm going to crack the clue because, like I said, all my burn spells cost pretty much 1 mana. And I think that's the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the game. Alright, so that is going to be the game. Prismatic Strands won us the game. And then, yeah. We just, well... just did it. So we'll go ahead and add a red using the white. Go ahead and blast you. Blast you. Bolt you. And then attack for... Let's see. Should I bring my opponent to 0 or -1? Screw it. Sending it. We gotta send a message. -1 is where we live. Okay. So this strategy is pretty straightforward. You want to bring in the electriceries, you want to bring in the prismatic strands. We don't have anything that actually destroys enchantments. So if they go Lumen Thread Field or something like that, we're pretty screwed. So Journey to Nowhere is the worst removal spell because it only kills one dude and it doesn't really do much past that. Lone Missionary doesn't do anything because it's just blocked easily. Standard Bearer doesn't do anything because their damage is more global, and Gorilla Shaman doesn't do anything. So it's pretty straightforward on what we want to do. There we kind of just won with the Kuldotha Boros shell. We didn't draw the Palace Sentinels. This would have been Ichor Wellspring otherwise, which we never would have actually sacked an artifact. Actually, if anything, Alchemist Survival would have been better there because if they had played another creature, like let's say their last card was in the 4th Squadron Hawk because they didn't play the 4th one. This would have actually won me the game because it would have stopped them from blocking. So this is a matchup where Palace Sentinels is not great because they go very, very wide. So they can easily take back the Monarch. But I don't think that's going to matter too much. And right now we're just trying our hardest to get the most out of Electricity that we kind of can. But we do have to watch out for them bringing in Prismatic Strands, of course. So this is going to be kind of a grindy matchup. So, yeah. And we'll see what happens with my opponent. Okay, so we're going to keep. I don't know if I want to go turn 1 Glint Hawk. I don't think turn 1 Glint Hawk is going to be very good. Okay, so there's Soul Warden. So now this is going to get even more effing annoying. No, I don't think I want to go turn 1 Glint Hawk. I think I'm just going to pass the turn. And then next turn, I'm going to play Great Furnace. And I'm going to play out the Prismatic Strands to stay kind of on curve instead of just going Boros Garrison and not playing anything. Alright, so my opponent is going to play a Rally the... No, never mind. Always forget what the hell, what the name of that card is. Where were you on turn 1? I mean, seriously. Alright, let's go Prismatic Lens, Prophetic Prism here, and we'll pass the turn. This matchup, I mean, this game is going to be pretty difficult because my opponent has double Soul Ward in play. I don't find this deck to be very good in the format, really against anything, but people play it, so there you go. Suture Priest. Okay, my opponent's going to gain millions upon millions of life. Okay, so let's go ahead and play Course Skyfisher, returning the Prophetic Prism. And then I have a choice of playing Boros Garrison or I can play the Plains. Well, actually, I could return the Ancient Den, replay it, play the Glint Hawk, and then return the Prophetic Prism. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, I just want to get the extra creature out there. Yeah, stupid Soul Warden effects. God, why are these cards legal in Pauper? Can we just ban them already? It's not that they're, like, you know, toxic to the format. It's just... God, this is annoying. This strategy is just annoying. It always has been to me. But, you know. So, kind of need a Palace Sentinels right now. Like, kind of badly. Although my opponent's only working with 2 mana for right now, so that's kind of good. Oh my god. Stop! It's a lot of Soul Wardens, man. Alright, well, fair enough. We need Electricity or something. That's not what we need. Alright, so we'll go ahead and play Prism again. Drew a Galvanic Blast. That's not going to really do much, so I'm just going to play the Garrison just to get some stuff out there. And I'm going to pass because I'm not killing my opponent anytime soon. And I'm going to discard the Windscar Crack because I want the rest of my lands to come into play untapped. Because I'm going to need the mana. Alright, so there's a Plains. The bad thing about Prismatic Strands here is that I can't kill any of my opponent's creatures because they also play white. And yes, I did put extra emphasis on the H because I thought it was funny. I then annoyed myself because it wasn't actually very funny. Another core Skyfisher. Okay, so... Question is, do I want to tap out? I think I'm okay with it for now. Opponent didn't do anything, so most likely they're just going to play a raise the alarm. There you go. Couldn't remember the damn name. So I think what I'll just do is I'll play the core Skyfisher, I'll return the Prism and replay the Prism off of the Ancient Den. Yes, always yield, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I could take my opponent down to 0. It's just going to take a long time. Alright, you play the Ancient Den, play the Prophetic Prism, pass the turn. Alright, well there's Palace Sentinels. So, that's pretty good, because now we're going to start getting to draw cards. My opponent's just gaining all the life. Just all the life. Every bit of it. Okay, so my opponent gained even more life. So the question here now becomes... I'm going to play the mountain. Do I leave up Prismatic Strands? I think I do. The problem here is that I am nowhere near killing my opponent. The problem is I want to play Palace Sentinels, but then they can just attack with everything. And I guess I could trade a bunch, which they would have to tap out and pump their dudes. But the problem is, if their card isn't Rally the Peasants, and it ends up being the one that gives +2/+2, I'm going to lose my dudes, and I don't want that to happen. So I think my best thing to do here is play another Prism, and just pass the turn. Even not playing that core Skyfisher as much as it kills me. Because once the Prismatic Strands goes to the graveyard, I'll be able to get the Palace Sentinels out there. My opponent's just passing? They're just going to play Raise the Alarm again? Okay. That's fair too, I suppose. Ooh, another Strands. Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, so... Just going to go ahead and play this Vial. I just want to keep drawing cards. A Lightning Bolt. Okay. I guess we just passed the turn. This is becoming ever more difficult because I'm not top decking Elec Trickery. Will my opponent do anything? I like that. They could just be Anthem flooded. That could be what's going on here. They might just be Anthem flooded. I don't know why they wouldn't do anything otherwise. Are you serious? Okay. Well, that sets me back quite a bit. Not a lot, but it sets me back a decent amount. Which is just really effing annoying. Alright. Well... I'm just gonna pass. I can't really play the Alchemist Vial. I have to keep up the Prismatic Strands, so I don't really have a choice. Is that really what they're flooded on? Just Dust to Dusts? Oh, they drew a land this turn, I suppose. I think they would have played it otherwise. Oh god. Okay. Or they could just have a few Battle Screeches as well. Let's see how much life my opponent can gain before the end of this game, I guess. Trickery? No. Well, it's a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's still only 6, but we can play the Vial. Draw a card. Drew an Ancient Den. Alright, well, we're guaranteed to play... Unless they remove my land and something else again, I'm guaranteed to play Palace Sentinels with Prismatic Strands back up at least. So that's something. Although it's kind of weird. They're playing around Elec Trickery. They didn't flash back the Battle Screech, which is interesting. And they're just passing the turn. I don't know what's my opponent's hand. I'm just suspecting that my opponent just has a bunch of Anthem effects. Alright, so we'll play Palace Sentinels now. And we're going to tap the artifacts to do it, just in case Dust to Dust is what's going on. So I'm going to become the Monarch, and this is going to force my opponent to do something unless they just want to let me draw, you know, bunches and bunches of cards. I'm going to go to 14. This is going to be an extremely long recording, which is really, really, really tiresome. But is what it is. Alright, I always become the Monarch, yep. And we're going to pass the turn. So, I think very soon I'm going to just kill this Suture Priest, because I think at some point, one of the ways I'm going to be on par with my opponent is having a bunch of lands and playing going Sen's Enlistment. So that is something to keep in mind. Another Glinthawk. Okay, yeah. Plus, I'm going to be playing a bunch of creatures in the next couple of turns, so killing this little guy is going to be very, very fruitful to my plan. It's like Elesh Norn had a little brother or a little kid. Maybe that's what it is. So is that guy, like, related to Elesh Norn? That'd be pretty interesting if that's true. Okay, so we're gonna block, and then just block a bunch of these dudes, see what my opponent does. Okay, so my opponent is ready to let these guys die, just sacrifice them for the good. So what I kind of want to do here is I want to kill 2 of these Soul Wardens, so that my opponent has to play multiple creatures, or my opponent has to play something else to flashback this Battle Screech. But I don't know if I want to do that. I could just play Prismatic Strands and draw more cards. Yeah, I think I just want a Prismatic Strands here, actually. I wanted to see what my opponent would do, but I think I just want a Prismatic Strands here. The reason being, I can play some creatures next turn and try to put my opponent into somewhat of a worse position. They're still not flashing back Battle Screech, which is interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and bolt this Suture Priest for now. And play Glinthawk. We're going to return the Ancient Den. Actually, I'm going to turn off auto yields for a second. And float the mana. Yes. Return Ancient Den, replay Ancient Den. Play Glinthawk. And then return this Prophetic Prism. So at this point, I'm not really sure how I win the game. I think I'm actually just locked out. I don't think there's anything I can do. But I guess if there's a way, I'll find it. I hope. Another vial. I think I'm still just going to play this Core Skyfisher. And pass the turn. That's a weird sound coming from outside. I have no idea what it is. And we'll return this Prophetic Prism. And we'll just pass. Yep. Excuse me. Draw a card. Garrison. Okay. Man. I have Electrickeries in my deck, but I have not seen one in the top almost half of my deck. This is fun. We're having fun. Okay, so my opponent played a Squadron Hawk and didn't do anything with it. Another bolt. That's not bad. So I guess I'll just play this Prophetic Prism, because I'll need more red. Okay, well there's an Electrickery. And we'll go ahead and play Garrison. Return the Plains. And I think just pass the turn. I think I just want 5 mana up. Draw another card. Great Furnace. Doesn't really do anything. Discard. I guess the Plains, since we already have another land. And there's a Windscar Crag. Okay. Yep. My opponent is gaining all the life. All of the life. That's weird. They're getting their Hawks one by one. I don't know why. So I think I'm just gonna try to pick off their Soul Wardens now. Just start using my mana. I don't think my burn spells are actually going to do anything else but this. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to pick off and try to force the issue with my opponent, see what they decide they want to do. Alright, they decided they didn't want to do anything. Okay. Let's go ahead and play Vial. Let's play another Vial. Firebolt now. Okay, let's go ahead and Firebolt you. By doing this, it may make them think that I don't have an Electrickery in my hand as well. So that might be good for me. And I'm just going to pass the turn. Draw another card. Of course, Skyfisher. Probably going to deck myself before I actually get to win the game. Alright. Opponent drew a land, they're going to play Hawk, sure. So their hand is definitely, like, at least one global Anthem effect, one global type of effect. They could have a Prismatic Strands in their hand, I'm not sure. But I think if I'm going to win, I'm going to need the second Electrickery. And I'm going to need it soon. Alright, go ahead and play this Core Skyfisher. Return Prophetic Prism. Oh yeah, another thing that you can do is you can play Core Skyfisher, return the Palace Sentinels, and become the Monarch again. So that is something else that you can do. Alright, now we go Galvanic Blast. Doesn't really do anything. I guess I could start attacking, but I don't really think that would do much. Yeah, I don't really think it would do much. Another Garrison, okay. They're not even playing the Squadron Hawk. Huh. Alright, Garrison, or not Garrison, well, I have a Garrison, but Prophetic Prism, go. Alright, Third Inspector, go. Garrison, go. Return Ancient Den, pass. This is so stupid. Like, this is actually just stupid. Yeah, I think my opponent realizes now they don't actually have to do anything. Okay, crack the clue. Play a couple of these Inspectors. And then I guess pass the turn. Soul Warden, sure. Are you saving all of your stuff so you can start gaining life? Is that what you were doing? Well, I guess that's what my opponent was doing. Well, I'm gonna Galvanic Blast in response, so kiss my butt. They still have one Hawk in their hand. Unless they sighted out a Hawk. I guess they might have sighted out a Hawk. No, I think they still have one Hawk in hand. Clue crack. Go. Clue crack. Go. Oh my god. Alright. Flint-Hawk, go. Return Prism. Yes. Prism, go. Bullcrap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I'm fine not playing any more lands. So we're just going to play Battle Screech. And then return it using these dumbass Urban Inspectors. Excuse my language. And pass turn. The reason I'm keeping them in my hand is for Sen's Enlistment. That's pretty much the reason. And discard an Ancient down, I guess, just because. Okay. Well, I guess I'll play Boros Garrison and return this mountain. Play Battle Screech again. 1, 2, 3. This is so stupid. This is like straight up the worst matchup I've ever played in my life. Alright, well there's the second Electrickery. So, we'll have to see now if I can somehow force this issue. Although I don't think I can. I think I have to wait for my opponent to play something. Oh, Lubenthorpe Field. Okay, well, I'll play Electrickery in response. What? They didn't have anything? Wait, what? They really didn't have, like, any Anthem effect? That is strange. Were they just holding back, waiting for this stupid Lubenthorpe Field? Is that what they were doing? Oh, okay. Galvanic Blast, huh? Alright, well, I'm gonna Firebolt this guy. I don't know how I managed to... whatever. And now I'm floating 2 red for no reason whatsoever. Raise the alarm, huh? Okay. Whatever. Yeah, gain 2 more life. And then I guess Galvanic Blast the Flyer. And then... I guess we'll attack with everything but these guys, because they don't actually kill anything. Deal a whole buttload of damage. My opponent's exactly 100 life, which is really impressive. I just dealt, what, 36? No, 26. Okay, no, the Lumenthread Field doesn't do anything at this point, not really. I mean, Electrickery is pretty much dead now. It's pretty much what it is. A Lightning Bolt. Okay, I'm gonna draw one more card, because I really need to get Sen's Enlistment soon. Okay, so my last 5 cards, I think, are a land, 2 Palace Sentinels, the Sen's Enlistment, and I think a Galvanic Blast? No. I don't know what else, actually. Go ahead and attack with everything, except for these Urban Inspectors. I guess I shouldn't do that, because I'm going to play another Palace Sentinels. Deal another 26 damage to my opponent. Play this Palace Sentinels. Pass the turn. Yay, I became the Monarch again. Oh no! Oh no, it's the Cobras! Guys, it's the Cobras! Oh no! I hear them. It's almost June and I still hear the Cobras. Sure. I kind of want my opponent to become the Monarch now. But, yeah. Man, I never drew Sen's Enlistment, like, ever. Alright, let's just go ahead and play these Palace Sentinels. Yeah, become the Monarch. And play these other Palace Sentinels. And then F6. And attack with everything but these guys. And I can't attack with these guys anymore, I don't think. 8, 9. Okay, so they're down to 24. So I think my opponent's actually dead next turn. Oh, it was a 3-man Spectre, okay. Assuming they don't have a, prismatic strands of their own. Okay. Now that can die to a lightning bolt if they cast anything. Okay, well I have to lightning bolt that. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I have exactly 24 damage in the air, and my opponent just doesn't remember to flashback Battle Screech. Unless they just randomly remembered to now. Nope, they didn't. There's the Sens enlistment. Okay, so I guess I can deal like 1 extra damage this way, because they can't block everything. So let's see if I win the game. It's going to be a crazy game if I do, which I had to hope my opponent messed up and didn't flashback Battle Screech, but either way. Alright, this should be game, I think, by my calculations. Wow, I actually won the game! 36 minutes and 40 seconds the match took, and oh my god, I actually won the game. I am just as surprised as anyone here. So, what just happened? Well, I won basically almost the unwinnable matchup by game 1, the Prismatic Strands getting my opponent. And then game 2, I was able to dig through my entire deck thanks to being the Monarch and all the cantripping I did. And my opponent just kept forgetting to flashback Battle Screech. I don't know why, but I don't know why my opponent was playing the way they did, but they did. Normally that matchup is not very good, but, you know, that's the power of this deck. It definitely hurts in a matchup like that, and not having, the Rally the Peasants, because you don't have the extra burst of damage. But at the end of the day, sometimes you can just get lucky, I guess. I did not deserve to win that game particularly. I don't know about game 3, but I did not deserve to win that game particularly. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you back for our second test match. Stay tuned.